Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. All things Middle-earth here with a very, very exciting video. In just 16 hours, I will be out of Bag End. Finally, it feels like it's been 30 years. People are trying to tell me it's been only like 3 weeks. I think I'm being lied to. I think it's been actually 30 years. But I'm very, very excited to be moving out of Bag End. So I want to take a second and show you on my two accounts that are both going in which commanders I'm going to be starting with on each account. I thought we'd look at what items I have right now so you can see what kind of gear I'll be putting on those commanders. And then as we move forward this season, we'll be able to track the progress of these commanders I'm using, because many of them are going to be brand new commanders for me to use that I've had just kind of sit in the bench for a while. So stay tuned. All that's coming up in just 1 second. Okay, so this is my first account. I thought we'd start off by looking at the gear that I have so you can have an idea of what we're working with here. I do have Eowyn's R10 item, the Rohan's Refuge. I got this a long time ago and I've just left it sitting here because I was very not happy with the whole process with the R10 items. But in terms of gold gear, we have about a 4 or 5 star of each piece. So I've got a 5-star Axe of Khazad-dûm, which I'm not, crazy in love with. I feel like it could work very well on a damage commander, but I also am going to be running Dwalin, which we'll see in 1 second on my other account. So I might end up putting this into something else. I have Noldor Sword and a Lang right here. So we'll see what we get, but I'm by no means attached to the Axe of Khazad-dûm as the weapon that I run as a gold piece on someone. So that's kind of up in the air. With that, I also have Endurance Plate, strengthened 5 times, which again, I feel like could be very good on a damage commander, but I don't think I'm going to be running any of those on this account. So this might get shuffled into something else. But the only gold I have here is the Explorer's outfit, so not going into that one. So we may be waiting to see what weapons and armor we get to possibly strengthen and try a new piece out. Then we have the Box of Knowledge, again, which is for warriors. So not thinking, I think this is a great piece, but I don't know if I'll run this or not. And I have the Defender of the Mountain. So really the gear situation we're in for those three are that I have a decent amount of gold gear to put into something else, but I need something to put it into because right now I don't know how much use I'm going to get out of these ones right here. And then we've got the Hunter's Guide with Aegis, which is refined twice. Which I don't see myself getting rid of. I think Aegis is a very, very good effect. So that's what we got there. And then just very quickly, you can see the weapons that we have here. A decent amount of purple that's refined, almost all the way in terms of the Carver with Smite. Got a Mirkwood Bow with Elves, Strength, all that good stuff down here. The rest of the purple's there. So those are the items that we're rocking with on this account. And then starting out, these are in no particular order. I'm going to be using 3 commanders on this account. We are going into Lothlorien. So on this account, I'm going to be running 3 Elven commanders, all of which I have used very little or not at all. So the first one's going to be Elrond, who I have at R5, who recently got a bit of a buff. And so if you didn't know, his half-elven tree got changed a bit. So this is what it looks like currently. But I'm going to be running Elrond. I believe this is the ability I'm going to run. So it's going to be with Lord of Imladris, with Convener. It's kind of the main reason we're going into that. Half Elven with Boon, and then we've got the Vilya's Ring Bearer with some extra points into Starlight. So just trying to get the damage output for elves as high as possible because we have Convener, we have the extra damage right here, and then we have extra damage from Half Elven right here for each type of allied Elven unit present. So we get 30% from this, 25 from this with Convener in the first 2 rounds. It's a pretty good setup. So that's what we're looking at for Elrond. We may see if other builds work better. I've been talking about possibly doing more of White Council and less of Convener because I don't like the 15 points in Lord of Imladris, but it is what it is. So that's Elrond, who we're going to be looking at as one of our mains starting out. Next one is going to be Celeborn. This is going to be the first time I've used him. I got him when he came out, but and got him to R5. Have not used him at all. His R5 is for March Wardens, which we're going to be having access to in Lothlorien. So he will not see probably the best use until we get our tier 4s unlocked. So he might be the 3rd commander I use. I might prioritize Elrond and the next one we're going to look at before him. But at the end of the day, he's got a guide for extra damage in the first couple rounds. He's got the Wise, which is going to give him different things unlocking every time focus reaches 150, 250, and 350, which is pretty cool. We've got Magical Barrier, Silvertall, and then Lord of Lorien with Firing Formation. Again, he also has Elven Leader for a chance of follow-up. So there's a lot of good skills here. I'm trying to figure out the best way to use him. So I may not end up using these same ones up here. This might be, Celeborn might be the one that gets my best gear once we get some gold gear that's appropriate for him. Because I would like to try and put points into the Wise to then, reduce that damage by 15% and also hit all these thresholds. But I'd like to hopefully have less points in something like Silvertall, which helps me get to those thresholds and have Elven Leader and Firing Formation maxed out. So that's Celeborn. We're going to see how we can get him, what use we can get out of him, but I think he's going to be a very fun commander to use in Lothlorien. And then last but not least, one we've used a little bit, but not to the extent that I feel like he deserved, especially being at R14, is Haldir. I've done a number of different spreadsheets and build guides on Haldir and seen some really good stuff out there. So this won't be as much of a mystery in terms of how to run him. It's just going to be getting him up to that point and running him with March Wardens. We'll be testing the Eagle build to see, Eagles, March Wardens, and then some third troop type with an Eagle build, and then also a full ranged build running Galadrim and Guide to see how much damage we can get him outputting. But those are the 3 Elven commanders I'm going to be running with Lothlorien. And now we get to the other account. This account is more painful for some people to look at, I know, and I definitely have wailed out a little bit more on this one. But starting out, we do have Dwalin's twin axes, and Dwalin is one of the 2 characters we rolled on our random wheel and got selected. So we will be running Dwalin with his twin axes, and then I'll cover the next commander we're running in just a second. I have gear on random people, so don't just ignore Grima and Gil-galad there. But then, again, going through, we have enough for a fully strengthened armor piece. We have the Hunter's Guide with Aegis refined 3 times. Again, we've got all of our weapons tied up in the twin axes. We do have a good amount left. And in terms of accessory, we do have the Palantir of Orthanc, which is all the way strengthened as well. So we have enough for a full gold set on Dwalin, for example, if we want to go that route. Although I think I'll be running something like the Scale Mail, the full helm. Accessory, if I could get a gold accessory that goes better with him, I would definitely put the Palantir into that just to make Dwalin as ridiculous as possible. But Dwalin is the first commander, and this is the gear kind of snapshot. As you can see here, lots of refinement on these things. Got the superior hauberk with fire protection. This might also be something I consider putting on Dwalin actually over the Scale Mail. I might go with that. But that's what we got right there on this one in terms of gear. So like I said, we're doing Dwalin. He's at R13. So we'll be running some kind of a build with Experienced Warrior, Durin's Blood, probably 2-1 new Musician for the debuff removal, and the rest of the points going up into Longbeard to get that ignore on the target's defense for Dwalin. So this is probably what we're going to be running on him. Next up is one that I'm very excited about, and that is Merry and Pippin. Have not really used them at all, but I got them to R5 very recently. Probably running something like this where we get extra damage for melee. We run the full War Chant tree, and then damage reduction for men. I don't think we'll run Hobbits. If I got somewhere to where we did get Ents, I would probably end up running them just for fun. In which case, I would also probably just start running Hobbits and Ents and just have this be just kind of the meme commander. But we are going to be running them. We've got a decent amount of solid gear, so we can definitely gear them more than they probably deserve. But we are going to be running Merry and Pippin as one of our 2 starting commanders on this account. And as far as the third commander goes, I feel like there's no better way than to spin the wheel one more time to decide that. We did that for Merry, Pippin, and Dwalin on this account. So we're going to do it one more time. As you can see, I've got the wheel ready here. Just want to give you a quick snapshot of what respect we have. If we roll a good commander, there's a lot more options we have that are at lower respect, so that's kind of what we want to avoid. But here are the tier 2s right here. Tier 3s, we do have Gil-galad, which is probably our best good commander by a decent amount here. We got the Gandalf the Grey. We get the R4 Denethor chilling out there, and some lower respect for the tier 1s other than Dwalin, and with Faramir at R10 as well. Evil were a bit more stacked. We got Grima at R10. Got pretty much every tier 2 evil except for the brand new ones. K'mul at R10, Lurtz R8, got Gothmog at R7. And then the tier 3s, we've got Witch King, we've got Kieran, we've got Sauron, we've got the Undying, all at pretty decent respect levels. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get this thing going. I think ideally people would prefer to see me get a good commander like Witch King or Gil-galad, who's going to be very, very useful. So I'm hoping that's the case. The only thing I don't want to do is I don't want to get someone I have at low respect. Let's go ahead and spin this. And again, we got Merry and Pippin. Dwalin's a solid one, so like maybe we can meet in the middle there, or just get a good roll here, get someone really fun. If it's someone that's at high respect that just we haven't used before, I'll be happy. I just don't want to get someone that I have at respect 0. That's not going to be that good, but we'll see what happens. Here it is. I don't know why I do this to myself, but let's do it. Here goes the wheel. Oh man. Okay. There you have it. Honestly, pretty happy with that, all things considered. He's one of my higher tier 1. He's one of my higher respect commanders on the account. I did him at tier 10. I don't have his special item, but I'd say running Merry and Pippin, Dwalin's great. I think Grima's another fantastic addition. That'll be very fun to run for an entire season. I don't know, he doesn't need whale gear, but we could put some crazy gear on him, or we could just kind of roll with it. But Grima is going to be the third commander we run on our account here with Dwalin and Mary and Pippin. But those are going to be all the commanders I'm running going into season 3.5. So if you want to join us for the live stream, it's scheduled. It's linked down below. It's going to be about 16 hours, 15 hours, and 36 minutes of this video recording right now. So check the link in the description for the scheduled live stream, because that's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be streaming probably 3 different times at the beginning, middle, and end of the new season. So if you want to join us for that, it's going to be a fantastic time. But that is going to do it for me in this one. And as always, I'll see you all in a future video.